Hello, welcome back. This is part 2. I will be starting with the interfacing of a simple switch to the microcontroller. You all know what a switch is. A switch is a device which is designed to interrupt the current flow to a circuit. It makes or breaks an electric circuit. Switches are usually of two types. We have mechanical switches and then we have electronic switches. In this discussion, we will be discussing about mechanical switches. Mechanical switches are switches that are activated physically by moving or by pressing or releasing or touching its contacts. The basic symbol of a mechanical switch is like this. In fact, we have different types of mechanical switches. We have the simplest one, which I have shown here, is usually known as SPST, single pole single throw switches. We also have single pole double throw switches. We have toggle switches. We have limit switches. We have other switches as well. In this discussion, I will be keeping it brief. I will only be discussing the interfacing of an SPST switch. This symbol is of SPST switch. I will be also mailing you a different PDF that will in fact discuss all these types of switches. So here only discussing the interfacing of SPST switch. It's basically an on-off switch. It has got two contacts, I will call them, one input and other output. Input and output. The input in case of microcontroller interfacing is usually connected to one of the two logic levels. Either it can be connected to VCC, that's 5 volts, or maybe it can be connected to ground, that is 0 volts. And the output is usually connected to any of the microcontroller pins. For example, I may connect it to port pin 0 of port 1. So normally the switch can either be closed or it can be open. In this case, it's normally open. So whenever I close it, whenever I press the contacts, the circuit will be closed. And if I have connected it to VCC, plus 5 volts will come here, or if I have connected to it ground, 0 volts may come here. To interface it with microcontroller is very easy. As you have seen here, we just have to connect one pin to the microcontroller pin and the other one to a fixed voltage level. For example, if I connect it to a fixed voltage level of VCC and the switch is normally open, that means the normal configuration will be like this. Whenever I press the switch will become like this. There will be a closed connection and this 5 volt will come here. But what when the switch is open? That's what when the switch is like this. What voltage will come here? What voltage will be here at P1.0? It isn't VCC, it isn't 5 volts, it isn't ground either. P1.0 is called floating. There is no definite voltage that is coming to P1.0, and this thing is not desired. So in this case, what we usually do, we connect a pull down resistor like this. To ground. So whenever the switch is open, this ground will give 0 volts, that's logic level 0 to P1.0, and whenever switch is closed, whenever switch will be open, there will be 0 here, and whenever switch will be closed, we will get a plus VCC 5 volts here. If I had connected this to ground, so I will be using a pull up resistor here. Pull up resistor is simply a resistor connected to fixed voltage supply of VC of 5 volts. So whenever the switch is open, we will have 5 volts here, and whenever switch is closed, we will have ground here. So that's it about the interfacing of a basic switch.